Golfers, how do you know how far you're swinging back? Are you swinging too short? Are you swinging too long? How do you figure out when it's time to start your downswing? I've got a really simple trick to make it easy, make it repeatable, and therefore make your striking consistent. And the world number one does the exact same movement. This might be the swing thought that you've been searching for your entire life. In today's lesson, I'm going to give you a super simple drill that's going to get you into the same backswing position every single time. If you haven't seen my video yet on the only drill you'll ever need, then I highly recommend you go back and watch that, as it's going to complement what we do here really nicely. Okay, so the top of the backswing. How do we know we've got there, and how do we know to start the downswing? For me, and for the world number one Nelly quarter, there's a very simple swing thought. We get to the top, we feel our lead shoulder brush against our chin, and then we start our downswing. So we have a trigger that gives us the length of our backswing, and it's repeatable. How many times have you had a friend, a family member, someone on the golf course tell you you swing too far back? The thing that I love about this swing thought is my shoulder and my chin, they're not going anywhere. They're always gonna be here, and they're always gonna be a really solid reference. When we say to players, all right, I want you to swing halfway back, what does that mean? Some people swing to here, some people swing to here, and some people swing to here. In all three of those scenarios, those players might feel like they swing to halfway for them. We often confuse our feeling and our reality, especially when it comes to golf. But if I said to you, all right, I want you to take your setup, and I want you to stop when your lead shoulder brushes your chin. You'd go here, you go, perfect, there's my swing. And depending on your anatomy, we might get a little bit of a difference in what that looks like at the top, but it's gonna be repeatable. You can always get your shoulder to brush against your chin. Why is this important? Well, overswinging occurs all of the time with amateur golfers, and we lose distance, we lose speed, and ultimately it causes those nasty slices or pulls. And I'll explain why. So I take my setup, and I'm gonna swing as far back as I can go. So you can see my shoulder's gonna brush against the chin, and then I'm gonna keep going. From here, a lot of golfers will make this move, over the top, okay, to attack the ball. And then our club path is gonna be out to in, quite severely. We'll check it here. So I'm gonna do a really long swing, coming over the top, pretty good contact. Look at my club path, minus 8.2, and my face angle minus 9.6, so completely shut. And there's the pull. Now, of course, if I was to open up the club face during that motion, then I'd create a slice. So we want to try and fix our length of our swing, because it's going to help us stay on plane. So instead of just swinging as far back as I possibly can, now I'm going to work on my reference, my shoulder brushing my chin. Notice when I do this, my hands are really far away from my face, so I've created some nice width there. I've got a straight lead arm, okay, as opposed to bending here and getting as long as possible. Because I assure you, for most people, our shoulder range is quite limited, right? We can get to here, and then the only thing that's going to help me swing further back right now is if I collapse my left arm and then bring my hands behind my face, and they get really close here and narrow, and then of course we're getting steep, and then like I said, out to in with that swing path. So instead I want to be wide. I actually want to be shorter in the length of my swing. Look at like John Rahm, Tony Finau as great examples. Absolutely bomb the ball and have very short swings, but they're very wide, okay? It's powerful. So again, we're working today on the Nelly quarter feeling. I'm gonna get my lead shoulder to brush against the chin. You're gonna see a big difference in the length of the swing here. That was easy. Shoulder brush chin, and I swung through. Look how different the ball flight is. Face angle, minus 0.2, pretty much square. Club path, minus 1. Okay, so I just dropped, what, 7, 8 degrees by changing the length of my swing, and the ball went further. And all I did was get my shoulder brush against my chin. We'll do it again. It's all about creating a repeatable movement here. Shoulder brushes chin, I start my downswing. So easy. I don't have to swing hard. Look at that, it doesn't get much better. I don't have to swing hard. In fact, it's way less effort than me trying to crank that backswing and then deliver. I definitely feel like I'm swinging shorter. I don't feel like it's a half swing by any means. It just feels really compact and solid. And I can take that to the golf course. I can be under pressure, and this is important, and I can just go, all right, I'm under pressure, but if I just go shoulder to chin, happy days, right? So simple, repeatable, very easy swing thought. I'd highly recommend you try that next time you're at the range or maybe even on the golf course. I want to make it clear that the length of your swing does not dictate the distance the ball will go. We are much more concerned with creating that nice arm structure and width and shoulder turn in particular, as opposed to just lifting the arms up, trying to get that club head, John Daly style, as far behind me as possible, okay? Even when John did it, he had massive shoulder turn, okay? And that's the key here. The reason I really like this idea, this swing thought, it gets your shoulders moving. It gets you away from just picking the clubs up with your arms. You have to ensure the shoulder gets to the chin, gives you a reference, and you can repeat that reference. It will feel short to begin with. Stick to it, and I think you're gonna reap the benefits very, very quickly. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments. You can also find me on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I'm always putting up really simple golf tips. I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. It goes a massive way to helping me out. And together, let's simplify your swing.